and some things could be brilliant. But of course, I don't necessarily go off on tangents or anything like that. But it is mostly to do with painting and art and that realm of stuff and info. So we're going to get started here. And one thing I feel that must be done for now. So I'm basically laying down the foundations of this painting. That is what we're working on right now, laying down the foundations. And what's going to happen now is I've finished the majority of our feminine characters, and I'm going to go back into them. I'm going to lay down certain colors for lips. So I'm going to lay down some lips here. I'm going to lay down some lips here and just add this color pop. But my goodness, so I started listening to music yesterday while painting, and I gotta say, it makes painting a whole different experience. It's pretty amazing. I'm sure people who have listened to music like every single day, which I don't. I don't listen to music every single day, but I'm sure people who do listen to music every day are probably thinking, well, obviously, do you not realize how wild music is, how amazing music is? But it is totally making painting a more interesting. I mean, it's already interesting, but it's doing something different. So, yes, there's that. I mean, I did like the idea of painting without. And what's up, Mark? I did notice you. How you doing? So I did like the idea of painting without music, being that painting without music kind of like keeps your painting from being influenced from an outside source, which is kind of interesting to experience and experiment with. So right now, just painting in some reds into our lips with our figures here. I love red lips. Who doesn't like beautiful red lips, right? That's what they invented lipstick for. Now, I'm not saying other color lips are not beautiful, but this is definitely, especially for a painting, lip color can have a huge impact on how a piece looks. So we're going to add these lips. Do I know the color wheel? Yes, I actually have a color wheel right here. It is so I guess if I had to break this down, what I've got going on here, I've got basically this entire area of the color wheel plus some green. I use this from time to time. I'll just randomly like pick it up and just kind of like look at it and study it. This is a great color wheel, by the way. It's Pocket Color Wheel, a guide to mixing color. And it's like, hey, if you add a little red to red violet, you get this color. If you add red to red, you just get more red. If you add red to red orange, you get a redder orange. If you add red to orange, you get a redder orange. If you add red to yellow orange, you get a less the yellow, less orangey, red orange. You add red to yellow, you get orange. If you add red to yellow green, you get this brown. If you add red to green, you get this purple, almost brown. If you add black to green, that doesn't make sense. So I'm seeing a plot hole here. This says if you add black to green, you just get this slightly darker green. I don't think that's accurate. That seems very inaccurate. Usually you get much, much, much darker green. But what makes you ask? Are these colors not complementary? Are they disturbing to the eye, distracting? And here we go. So we're going to go down. So for those of you, you have discovered that, yes, even I use a color wheel. Much like a novice artist. I am a novice. So soon enough, I have to decide on this artwork is tight. Thanks, Tyrek Robinson Alexander. What a great combo of a last name, huh? Robinson Alexander. An explorer meets a Roman conqueror. I think Alexander was Roman, right? I have one more lip to fill with this red. We're gonna stick with this. Robinson Alexander. All right, and here we go. Another lip right here. We're gonna go down, and of course, I will eventually at some point give these reds a bit more dimension by adding shadow. And darkening some areas, but for now, the goal is really just to keep it simple, just get the main colors so I have it all like blocked in and ready to go. And this isn't really like a how-to tutorial. I don't necessarily, on the subject of art and music, there's a connection between a color wheel and a circle of fifths in music. They look alike and show relationships between notes and colors. Dude, I'll have to look into that. I've never heard of that. I mean, I have heard of synesthesia, where people feel the, colors, or they feel music, but I've never heard of what you're saying. The color wheel and a circle of fifths. Because there's what, 7 main colors? Red, orange, yellow, green, blue. Oh, wait, no, there's only 6. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet. I mean, those are the main, but the rainbow has 7. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. I guess they've changed that since then, just to keep it simple. But red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. So I'd be curious to see how that's broken down as far as that goes. But I am loving these pops of red. Okay, and we've got this pop of red. You know what? Like paintbrush is such an inefficient use of color because there's so much that gets lodged on the inside of this paintbrush that I can't even use. All right, and let's see. Let's go for the cool colors. I'm gonna say that cool colors capture the masculine, while the warm colors, these warmer colors, capture the feminine. Tyrek, what inspires me to make these paintings? Oh, Tyrek, my goodness, dude. Like, I know when we go, like, in an interview situation, if you ask me this, like, on the news, or if I had to write a one paragraph Instagram post, like, I should say something like, you know, there's a time in my life when I felt like things didn't matter, but then I discovered painting, and I found that faces spoke to me, and they created a sense of belonging. And when I started to feel this community within the faces I was painting, it just gave me purpose. Now, that's an answer I totally made up just now. That's not actually true. But for the sake of explanation, my real reasons to make these paintings are much more pragmatic, much more less meaningful, to be honest. Like, one of the reasons, a challenge to myself. You know, I wanted to create a very, I don't know if you've seen my other paintings, but here's my previous one. I just finished this one. And with this one, you know, my previous paintings are similar to this. I have a lot of empty space. So empty space that I fill with paint and ideas. So I decided that I wanted to challenge myself between with filling the entire canvas with nothing, no empty space. So that was part one, a challenge to myself. But also composing something complex like this with all sorts of different figures in it. Wanted to do that. And if you want to know why I picked these heads, my goodness, it is let's call it a massive dive into the rabbit hole of Vincent van Gogh's work. So Vincent van Gogh's work. Long story short, while studying Vincent van Gogh, I discovered that his brother ran this art company called Goupil and C. And basically, they published a drawing tutorial book. So a book that taught drawing by some artists named Charles Berg and John Leon Jerome. And I became mildly obsessed with some of those. So basically, the ideas historically is the way you would learn art or become an artist. Obviously, 100 years ago, totally different time, more than 100 years ago, 200 years ago, is you had to draw and master drawing things exactly as they were supposed to be. That's how this book was designed. But obviously, you know, it's 200 years later. I decided to just paint them. I'm gonna skip, you know, skip the rules and just do however I feel like I wanted to do it. And yeah, upon discovering that drawing book, instead of just drawing everything, which I was doing previously with oil pastel, I decided to paint them. What else decided me? I mean, you know, there's other things, right? Like these heads are absolutely incredible and interesting. Like so many interesting faces. And it just felt worth painting, worth spending the time to design. But also, you know, live streaming. Live streaming is part of the work too. And I need content. So, you know, a lot of pragmatic ideas. But also a love for painting and enjoyment of artwork. So many things. So I can't really give an answer like that. Sadly, you can't really give a well thought out answer like that on an Instagram post, but or maybe you can. I don't know. But yeah, do it. You know, just doing art the way I see it. So here we go. We're gonna start with the warmer colors now. And I think what we're gonna go with is we're just gonna continue with this blue. Well, this one I did red and yellow, so I should probably do blue. Well, actually, the warm color palette's not gonna be that warm. Unless I go with like a steel gray. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go with the steel gray because I've got this Payne's gray already going on. Yeah, Tyrex. So what brings you here today, dude? What's going on in your world? What's happening in your life that feels exciting to you? Okay. So let's go with some of the warmer color or cooler colors now. You know what I should have done is I should have done the hair. But anyway, let me start with this guy. This guy's a very prominent figure here. He's a very prominent figure. So we're going to focus on blues and grays here. Maybe even a little lighter with this color. Need some more white here. All right, that should last us. So here we go. And here we go. But also when it comes to my painting, I'm on an ever expanding exploration of painting technique. And maybe I'll settle on one day, maybe I won't. Or maybe I'll settle on a theme, I don't know. Let me wet these colors a bit. Scrolling around, stumbled across the lot, but you're maintaining. You're maintaining? Like at work? Like a job? Like maintenance? Is that what you mean? Thanks for stopping by on your break. I know that being such precious time on a break, you can only pick so many things to do, right? Like, you have so much time in a day, and there's so much that you can see or listen to, and somewhere along the way you've popped into here. So I'm using a slightly different technique here, which I'm focused on using a lot of smaller brush strokes to fill the space. And I don't really know if that's that much better than using big broad strokes or like nice meaty chunks of paint. But it's working for now. It works until it doesn't. So just need to leave some room for the separation here. Just life in general? Okay. Maintaining life. Sounds about right. Sounds like... So is maintaining, do you feel like maintaining is a good thing right now for you? Do you like maintaining? Or do you feel like there's more that you'd like to be doing? Some of this stuff is definitely going to have to get moved around a bit. Some of the features of the face and things. Okay, now we're going to go to another head. This part's the pretty easy part, really. Just painting in these large spaces of color. And I'd like to mix a different color here. Something a bit greener. So let me grab some of this phthalo green. I'm going to have two versions of this blue here. Like a teal. So you like to be doing balancing things out. Balance is great, man. Balance is awesome. Good to find balance in life. Except, I think balance is good in life. I was raised with that idea, but I will say I think balance is good in life, except for when you want to get really good at something. If you want to get really good at something in life, balance doesn't really contribute. Just getting philosophical here. I do a lot of like, hey, let's talk about that. How do you really, that kind of thing. I do a lot of that on this live stream. So since you're new, you might not be used to discussing random ideas like that with people. But I do on my live streams. Yeah, what do you think about that? What do you think about the statement, balance is great to have in your life, except for when you want to get really good at something? Because if you want to get really good at something, you basically have to become obsessed with it. I mean, and when I say obsessed with it, like it's not like a obsession where it's like difficult. It's just going to come easy. Like it's just like an activity that you feel like you have to do, you must do, and it's easy to get yourself to do it. Yes, that's what I mean when I say that. All right, so I got this head right here. I'm gonna work in some of these body parts. Let me work in out from the center. Gotta work from the center here. Oh. So now I'm planning out these colors here. Let's go with this physical body right here. We're gonna go need some yellow. So what's going on, Huscroft? How you doing? Flooring. Yeah, I was gonna say that's a really good advertising strategy. Come up with a name for your business and then just visit like random people's lives or like live streams. And this could be done on TikTok. This could be done on this could be done on TikTok. This could be done on YouTube. But the only catch is you got to find, obviously, you got to find streamers that'll actually say the name of your brand. And there's a lot of streamers that won't give shout outs easily. A lot of them will make you pay for it. But that's not my business model. So anyway, let's go ahead and build this up. I'm gonna grab some of the blue. So I am kind of curious, like, what is Huscroft flooring? Anyway, here we go. So Huscroft, how long you been in the flooring business? Think of this like a radio show. Where you're from, and what do you do? So this is not how it's supposed to look, but we'll figure it out. I will manage and work around it, but getting these basic layers first. And there's so much shadow here that, let me see if I can. Too long in the flooring business. All right, that's cool. Flooring business. I'm sure, everybody needs floors. You can't, the world does not work without a floor. I'm gonna have to spend a lot of time to shape this figure. Probably should have focused more on the drawing of it, but that's all right. Let's go into this guy right here. I'm gonna do this guy with a slightly different shade of green. I'm gonna rotate this on the side so that it is easier to get his features. And let's go here. So we're gonna go, got our little Deadpool character here as well. So I had a viewer yesterday who said that, well, technically their words were, if I had $5, would you put a Deadpool into your painting or hide a Deadpool? So I didn't read the fine print. And obviously, anytime you make a business deal, you should, you know, get some sort of collateral ahead of time before you do agree to do something or whatever. But I had just started painting it, and then they're like, "Hey, no, I don't actually have $5 to give you." So, but I decided to keep it. I like it. I like this little Easter egg of a Deadpool. On this person's face. I find it amusing. So here we go. This guy's ear. Oh, that's the guy's ear. So this guy's ear needs to come down a little further. Let's grab some of this blue here. It's kind of cute though. This little Deadpool face. Anyway. Here we go. Alright, so we're going to go down into here. Not too far down because I think part of this face is a lot of facial hair. So I haven't necessarily decided on the facial hair shapes yet. And I do like how this is coming along. And my arm is actually getting tired painting this guy because I gotta keep it up here for an extended amount of time. I think any man, or even woman, but specifically man, in my opinion, for what I'm about to say, I think any man who feels that they have a traditionally or arguably unattractive face should find an artist to paint them, because one thing that I've discovered while painting is that it's not like the super what you might call handsome faces that are the most interesting as far as art goes. And you know, I think some of these faces are based, you know, like have like a ruggedness to them. And you know, obviously looks are totally subjective, right? But I definitely feel as an artist I would seek out interesting faces, not necessarily the most subjectively, socially considered attractive. So I'm going to bring this up to here because the ears are going to come in a bit. This really only needs to go up to here. I'm just going to make the nose a little bigger. Do I prefer painting women or men? So I prefer looking at women for non-artistic purposes, but I will paint men or women. Like when I'm doing artwork, my gender brain kind of switches off. And I kind of just paint like whatever man or woman or other. But if I had to go to an art class, if I had to go to an art class and it was either paint, this dude or paint this woman, I'd probably pick an art class with a woman in it. But if I was painting for the sake of, something like this, doesn't really matter, like man, woman. I don't. I mean, I do prefer this painting these faces, these female faces over. You know what? Answer your question. I mean, I don't know. I like the way these turned out more, but I think what's great about the traditional male face, the classical painting male face, is that it has a lot of like, they usually put a lot of like creases, and they put a lot of like wrinkles and things like that. So there's something about painting men's face that gives a lot of character, whereas women's faces you're more focused on like curves and beauty, and this element of like a classical like roundness, a softness. Whereas I think men's faces, they're more exciting in the sense that you kind of play around with wrinkles and stress lines on their faces. So in that sense, I guess I'm pretty open to either for art purposes. Yeah, I guess it depends. I don't know. I don't have a definite answer for you. I guess. All right. So anyway, we're gonna do this face. Let's go into here, and we're gonna go into this guy. We're gonna keep what I consider more masculine faces a cool color, like a green, a teal, a blue. Masculine faces being the men. It's funny. Earlier, I was talking about how my gender brain switches off, but basically everything I was talking about kind of talks about, the characteristics of what I feel is like, these feminine characteristics versus the more masculine features. So, I guess I don't know. Anyway, so this needs to be rounded out a bit. So we need to bring this forward and figure out how to like round this out and over. We're gonna bring in some of this blue here. Just kind of blend that into it. And then I think this is where it starts to have these details. So here we go. I can see where this is going. This needs to be some sort of unusual facial hair. I don't even know what that is. Like what? This is a weird area. So I'm just going to paint into this to start establishing some things. And here we go. Just around we go. You know what I really would like to do is pick a color for this hair, but I'm kind of scared. Kind of like, hey, what if I pick the wrong color, you know? What if it doesn't look right? Kind of scared. Let's see. What color? Maybe go with, should I go with white? I don't want to just pick standard colors though. That's kind of boring. Or maybe it creates a sense of like a powerful color palette if I use black hair. We'll see. I'm not going to go into the hair just yet. Okay. We're going to do all sorts of colors, actually. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got like 6 or 7 different hair colors. 1, 2, 3, 4 5 major hair colors. Plus these other ones that have like different parts of their hair that we can play with. So we got black, salt and pepper, a redhead, a person with orange hair. There you go. Brown, blonde. That would need 6. So we get rid of the salt and pepper. So we got black, brown, blonde, black, brown, blonde. Obviously black can be like with some white. Black, brown, blonde, redhead, and then what was the other one? I guess I could pick one with some crazy color too. Give them like a purple. But I think if I just focus on like certain colors, it would be more powerful. Like if I just had all of them have black hair, I think that would create a really powerful, have a really powerful effect as far as the overall composition goes. Excuse this sound. I have a neighbor who is doing some sort of construction, I guess. What's happening down there? Let's go right here, and we're gonna go. Hope this construction isn't too distracting. Ironically, I think he does flooring, interestingly enough. So, Huscroft, I hope you're not trying to escape the sound of some flooring. I hope it doesn't trigger your working brain. I guess when you go on YouTube, you try to escape flooring. But you can't escape flooring, Huscroft. It is your destiny. There is no escape. Once you get in flooring, you are forever in flooring. So here we go. I'm gonna throw in some, let's throw in a little shade of this blue here. So something about the way I'm painting now that I got to comment on. The way I'm painting right now isn't really an efficient way to paint. It's not using the traditional way. Traditional way would be basically sketch with like a pencil, cover it all with a really thin layer of paint with one single color. But I'm using these smaller strokes to fill in our spaces here, which requires a lot more time and effort, and which may or may not ever be rewarded. I don't know. It might never be rewarded. Is that okay? I hope it is. I think it's okay. I think that's one reason why a lot of artists probably don't get into painting, or a lot of artists probably don't get into it because they think like, and I can't read people's minds, I'm just sharing a projection of what I think is, what if nobody cares, right? What if nobody cares? And unless you can overcome that limiting question, I don't think you can make work, right? I don't think you could really be an artist. Because there's a very, 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 very high chance that absolutely nobody will care, right? So here we go. Just painting in some of the basic details for these faces coming around, because there will be certain changes as we go that include facial hair. And I don't know if the facial hair, maybe this guy can go a little deeper. I don't know how I'm going to separate this nose. Need to create some shadow right there. Let's see, where can I find another face here? We're gonna go into this face. This is one crazy face. I don't know. I'm kind of concerned about how this one will turn out because at least going around the edges right now. Still haven't decided on hair yet. That's why the majority of this face is. Why some of these heads feel so unfinished. But let's go with this blue. I'm gonna focus on going with the blue for this figure here. All right. Let's see. So get into some of these figures right here. There's a lot of light in this area of the head. So this is the crown. The crown is going to come up to like about here. So let's just go and paint this head across here. This is one complicated face. And I feel like it can't be tackled with just can't be done easily with just the regular technique here. Maybe get some of the features. All right. What do I think of existence? I love it. But so I'm going to have to ask you, like, can you explain what you mean by existence a little further? Because the easiest interpretation of what you're saying is, what do I think of life? How do I feel about life? I mean, I love life, right? So when you say existence, you know, do you mean something more profound or less something more esoteric as far as what I think about life? Like, explain the question a little further, or define existence as you have on your mind. See, this is why live streaming painting is also awesome, is because you can have these random philosophical discussions without feeling like you're talking to yourself. So I guess if I was just painting by myself, I would probably have these thoughts, but I would have no these random thoughts would pop into my head, and I would have no one to share it with. What do I think existence is all about? You think it's like infinite lives? I believe that there is an infinite intelligence. There is an element of, you know, this a consciousness, an infinite like consciousness that each of us has a connection to. It's getting philosophical here, but you know, like, there's consciousness, as you're probably thinking of it as I'm saying, right? Like my thoughts, my ideas, what I'm seeing, my experience right now. But outside of my own body, outside of your body, you know, outside of our exact conscious experience, which maybe it's within us, maybe it's outside, but like everybody has a consciousness. But I think that consciousness is a continuous and ongoing thing, even if we may not, you know, necessarily be reading minds or you know, like whatever, like nothing like overly mystical or anything like that, but just this idea that that I think that is infinite. And animals experience that consciousness differently, in my opinion, right? But they still experience it as a human being. As human beings, we experience it at much different levels than animals. But I think that's infinite. And, you know, that makes us all connected in some form or fashion. But I don't think each of us necessarily has, like, you know, infinite lives. As much as it is that, like, you know, every thing is connected in some way in general. So what do you think? I mean, what are your thoughts on this? What are your thoughts on this question of an infinite consciousness? Or whatever you, I mean, obviously you probably had some thoughts in your head of what the answer is or should be. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. Mark Dietz, hey, Huscroft, you know who would be a good person to discuss this idea with? It's Mark. So, Mark Huscroft asked, what do I think of existence? What do I think life is all about? I gave a long winded answer, which I feel like I can't re explain in the same way. So, rather than me try to repeat my answer, uh, what do you think? And I don't know if Huscroft was actually in the middle of typing up his answer because I did ask for what his thoughts were. But since you're back, Mark, we're gonna throw you another uh, one of life's most complex questions and esoteric and complex philosophical questions. Just gonna throw you in with the. I don't know. Huscroft asked the question. He asked if it's like infinite lives. I had a totally different answer, but yeah, I guess however you interpret that, I don't know. So let's see. To what I said, obviously words ain't ever going to work, but it's always fun to try. I believe we basically go on for an infinite amount of time, but much more so that this existence, put simply, I think this universe is a realm. Okay. Seems to me that if we just died and there was nothing after, then the universe would have no meaning. Yeah, that is an interesting thought because can the universe, here's a question, can the universe exist without people thinking the universe exists? There we go. There's some who's that guy who does the who does like all the science explanations? So you're saying the universe can exist if people don't know it exists? Or if people aren't around to believe that it exists? I need to thicken the paint on this. Ooh. I got to meet the director of the movie A Secret Garden. As you speak, we are the universe contemplating itself, so we have a purpose. All right, that's cool. I like where this is going. I like that idea. Yes, keep going, Mark. You're on a roll, dude. I feel like you're about to lay some lay some ideas down for us that you've thought about for many and many a day. There's still so much work left on this. Yes, let's hear something. Do you mean like literally hear it, or do you mean read? I'm open to knowing things. I'm open to reading, to knowing, to reading, listening, hearing. All right, so here we go. I'm gonna go into this head right now. Mm. So here we go, building up these facial features right here. You know what, I should just focus on the broad color here, and we'll bring in the details later, because this face has so many details. It's gonna be really hard to nail down. So here we go. I guess, Mark, you're typing up something. Here we go. You're a kid. Oh man, dude, that's rough. Sorry, man. Wow, this is quite the direction. Once when a holy crap, dude. Well, something wants you alive, or yourself, your unconscious wants to live, and it has done amazing things for you to keep you alive. But go on. Fell asleep at the wheel, and the trailer went over a cliff. Holy crap! So the trailer went over, but you did not. Go on. And thank you for sharing the story. This is a lot of tough things you're talking about. Both times you're a female voice saying, "Mark, wake up." So what do you believe it's your aunt's voice, because you don't know your mom's? Okay. I mean, obviously only you would know, what the voice sounds like. So you asked your dad if both voices were similar. But they were. Since then, you had to believe that it was her. Wow, man. That's pretty amazing. Well, thank you for sharing that experience. There will definitely be some very powerful experiences. Yeah, go for it, Mark. Huscroft, I don't know if Huscroft is still here. He's probably... But Huscroft is the one who started this conversation, so... How do you feel, Huscroft? What is your... Let's hear another... Let's read another story, Mark. I'm open. I will say, though, I will be... I'm going to sign off here in a few... Maybe like 5-10 minutes. So I guess we got enough time for another story. So let's do some hair. Give some hair to this guy. Go some dark brown. So 20 years ago, your bro checked out his attic to make a man cave, or into a wall to check the structure, found stuff from 1918. And some letters. Okay. That's cool. Definitely a message that wanted to be, a family that wanted to pass on a message. Cool. So keep on going, dude. I'd love to hear the rest of this. Night. Okay. I've definitely heard about these paranormal experiences before. And I'm sure your brother has a movie idea there. At minimum, turning his experience into a movie is a possibility. Next night, no more things were happening. Called me to tell you your toys and things. Oh, that's cool. Don't put the stuff back on the wall. All went away. What? It all disappeared? Oh, when they put the toys back on, is what you're saying. It just, all the sounds and stuff went away. The spirit, yes. The spirit realm. Bro's perfectly sane, swears to all of it. Good. And you know what? Like, you know what's interesting is that both you and your brother have had these experiences. You know, maybe there's that, you know, I'm not going to call it a genetic, I guess I am going to call it genetic factor because I don't know of a better way to put it, but, you know, these experiences, maybe somehow between you and your brother, you are more attuned to having these types of experiences. You know, maybe you're more connected to, I don't know what someone might call this, but the spiritual realm for the lack of a better for lack of a better term. But yeah, 1917, they checked on their imaginations or you disturbed something. Yeah, you never know. It's one of those. It's a powerful question. Okay, so I'm gonna take some of our black. We're gonna go into her hair with some black here. And after that, we're gonna be taking a break. But yeah, Mark, thanks for sharing all those great experiences. It's very interesting. So I never thought of could be supposed as different when someone like your bro tells you a story like that. See you, Huscroft. Take care. Yes, take care, Huscroft. Yeah, I definitely believe in the paranormal. You know, I don't. Rather than think of it as a mystical experience, you know, I think it's more like, you know, it's just being attuned into an environment. You know, having an environmental connectedness with what's happened in a place. There are energies. There are definitely energies. Right on, dude. Thank you. Thank you for participating in that conversation. I think it's great when I can have, you know, people be a part of this live stream who, you know, aren't just like trying to interact with me, but they're also curious to have conversations with each other as well, have these discussions. So, you know, I find it very helpful to, you know, be able to do that to help to create and expand ideas. All right, so anyway, this is coming along. I'm starting to add in some of the hair details. So that'll be fun to see how this all comes together. I don't necessarily know yet. This could go still many, many different ways, but basically going to clean up my brushes now, take my break. Got to get ready to do some things, some outside things this afternoon. All right, gonna wrap things up here. But I don't even remember what the original. Oh yeah, the title of this live stream was "Music Totally Transforms Painting to a Whole New Experience." I should have started doing that earlier. But I will be back later this afternoon, this evening, to work on this painting. But for now, I can really only paint for like 2, maybe up to 4 hours max. Like, you know, that's like the limits of my painting endurance at a time, and then I need a little break. But with that, we'll be back soon enough. So used to have chat on a YT channel. The host would pose a question, leave the comments section open. Oh, that's a good idea. I should try something like that. I can't leave. Let's see. I wonder if I can leave. Oh yeah, I could create polls. It's kind of cool. I'll figure something out. All right, Mark. Thanks. You know, I got to figure out. I got to do like a stream that allows me to like overlay some words on it. That's what I got to do. But anyway, take care, Mark.